This is LDLC versus Alternate, and I didn't quite catch the map. It was either between Cursed Hollow and Haunted Mines.
Yeah, I actually don't know what map it is. It's not showing on screen for
Yeah,
me,
it
which is
was.
quite
It went down to
peculiar.
Cursed Hollow or Haunted Mines, but would Alternate play Cursed Hollow again, having won a game on Mines already today?
I mean, I don't know. I think they would,
It's
but
Haunted Mines.
oh, I believe it. Yeah, yeah,
So
Haunted Mines.
Alternate now are essentially playing a best of one on Haunted Mines.
Again, into that best of one on Haunted Mines situation, which they did come victorious in last time. So hopefully for them, they'll be able to tie this series up to a 1-1. And yeah, we have LDLC with the first ban onto Zagara, a very large target ban there. Zagara being so useful throughout this qualifier for Team Alternate, but it will not be in the game this time once again. But Jaina being banned out here from Alternate, so probably wanting to go for a different style of composition from the last game. But LDLC is going to go on that first pick Sylvanas, which can be so very strong on Haunted Mines
Yep.
due to the ability to just freeze those structures. And now we'll have to see what the follow-up is from ATN.
So last time Alternate were on this map, they were second in the draft. They picked Malfuri and Tassadar. This time, because I remember you saying that you weren't a fan of the Tassadar in that first rotation. This time they've gone for the Valor instead, putting some solid damage onto their lineup before they go for that support style. But LDLC, they're going to go for the Tassadar, and they could of course go for the Illidan as well. That's open, and Uther's a great way to set up your team for that Illidan.
Yeah, we did see a pretty late Illidan pick on Haunted Mines last time, and it was a kind of a similar setup with the Tassadar early on. But again, I believe that was on the side of Alternate. So,
Yeah.
one thing to consider is the Zagara is just not available for that Wombo combo. So possibly could they go for a Zeratul here? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what kind of comp Alternate wants to run here. Do they want to run a... Okay, they're
There
just
it
going to
is.
take away the Illidan.
Yep, so they've got the Illidan themselves. Malfurion, though, maybe not be the best solo support for an Illidan. Um, may have to rely on that stone skin later on. And they're going to go for the ETC, which again adds a little bit more support for the Illidan, this time in an offensive style.
They could always add Tyrande into their last
Yeah.
pick. I mean, Power Slide into Lunar Flare combo can be quite nice, and having that extra utility support to keep Illidan alive is really nice. I mean, Tyrande does have a direct heal that's quite nice, and the option of protective shield, so you can have a lot of sustain for that Illidan if you go with the Tyrande pick, but not a huge guarantee. But I do know that Alternate does like the Tyrande.
Yeah, we've seen them play Tyrande quite a bit here. Dark Vonix playing it more often than not. But it's LDLC's turn to pick, and they need a warrior here, which, again, they've got options on the table. We could see an Arthas, we could see a Chen again, maybe a Chen. I mean, Chen could... Well, nope, there it is. There's the Arthas.
Yeah,
And
Arthas
Kerrigan,
Kerrigan.
that's a
Yeah,
throwback.
yeah. Arthas Kerrigan is actually it's kind of an older school setup, but it's really popular on Haunted
Yeah.
Mines, where you kind of just don't let them move out on the map at all. Just engage on them right away. And in conjunction with that Uther, they have a lot of lockdown between the Uther, Arthas, and Kerrigan. They also have a lot of survivability for both Arthas and Kerrigan via that Uther and Tassadar.
Yeah, something to note as well is that Arthur's Kerrigan is so potent on mines because you apply so much pressure when pushing with your Grave Golem. Your enemy puts one step wrong, boom, Kerrigan jumps in, or they get snared by Arthas. Even if they're behind a gate, you just provide so much pressure that they have to be at least a safe range behind it.
Yeah, and I really feel that one of the weaknesses of Alternate is getting caught out of position, so this could be something that could be really strong against them, the Arthas, the Kerrigan, and the Uther combination there. But what will be the last pick here from Alternate? I have to feel it could be the Tyrande, but I mean, the Vikings are still available.
Yeah.
That could round their comp out very nicely, and if the Vikings get caught, they have tons of options of getting out of it. They have the W, jump into the air to make them invulnerable and remove them from crowd control. They have the Viking longboat raid, and they would also have the split experience potential when they go for their skull tactic, and oh my god, it's going to be a
Oh.
Nazebo.
Now, you'd have to think that's going to be a Gargantuan Nazebo in the current
Yeah,
state of Ravenous.
we've seen a lot of Gargantuan with the Spider build as of late. We saw a bit of it coming out from SK Gaming in the DreamHack tournament that just took place this weekend, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not completely sold on Nazebo. I would have liked to see Vikings here. I mean, Vikings, such a good hero. I would have liked to see something a little bit different here, but we'll have to see if it works out for them here on Haunted Mines.
Yeah, I mean, Nazebo in himself adds quite a bit of wave clear and quite a bit of push, but pre-level 13 he's really susceptible to getting caught by an Arthas, by a Kerrigan. If Kerrigan's able to jump in towards that back line, then that Nazebo is so open.
Yeah, and there's really no cleanse here on the side of alternate, so they have to be really, really careful about avoiding any kind of abilities coming out there from like the Arthas and the Kerrigan and the Uthers. So yeah, this is I don't know. It's definitely an interesting composition. At least one thing alternate won't be lacking is damage. They do have lots of damage. So, I mean, even though the survivability not so great for Illidan, they do have the option of Tranquility and hopefully a protective shield coming out from Malfurion. But, yeah, I mean, it's just the solo support Malfurions to keep them alive.
Yeah, and back when Ravenous Spirit was played, I really liked the idea of Illidan and Nazebo in one team, because Illidan would be as far forward as possible and Nazebo would be in the back line. You'd really have to try and split your focus up. But now with Gargantuan being picked, or assuming Gargantuan's picked, it kind of gets rid of that idea of the split focus, and Nazebo has to be careful where he's sending his Gargantuan. It can deal a lot of damage, but equally it can get taken down so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like alternate is just going to have to be very careful. They don't want to get someone bursted down in the initial kind of volley coming out from LDLC, the Arthas root, the Kerrigan combo, the Uther stun. As long as they survive that and they can get a Tranquility off and they can get their damage off, then I feel like they could be in very good shape here. But again, Arthas, Kerrigan, Uther, just a very scary lineup to go against.
Yeah, definitely. So as we are now loading in to the Haunted Mines, of course, if LDLC take this game, then they are the winners of this qualifier and they gain their spot into the Gosu Cup number 2. If alternate win, then we go to a third and final map. And on the left hand side of the Haunted Mines is going to be Team Alternate themselves. Krolu on the Malfurion, Dark Vonix on the Harley Quinn Nazebo, such a nice skin. Guccio on the Vala, Nunde on the Illidan, and Gluehammer on the ETC. Last time we were on this map, Nunde and Gluehammer both died quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And on the right side of the map, spawning as the red team, we do have LDLC, Vipolino on the Arthas, Alistor on the... I can't even see... I have to look at the score screen. Sylvanas, we have Polator on Uther, we have Lol versus XD on Kerrigan, and we have Haruka on that Tassadar.
And this is what you really expect to see Haruka soloing in that top lane with the Tassadar, having the wave clear, having the shields to defend his structures. And last time we also saw Nunde solo lane there. Pushed in whoever he was against, I can't recall who it was, quite well, but this time he's going to have a little bit of a trouble doing that against the Tassadar. And this is a really, really kill lane coming out from LDLC. Kerrigan, Arthas and Uther plus Sylvanas, that's scary.
Yeah, not only is it a push lane that alternate has to match instead of going through their own golem lane, but it's also a kill lane here coming out for LDLC. They have Arthas, they have Kerrigan, they have Uther, they have enough lockdown to just eliminate a hero with relative ease. And we do have Polator moving up to the Watchtower, just controlling the map, putting a little bit of pressure. We do have Gluehammer responding to that now, but again, we do have LDLC just pushing in that bottom really heavily.
Yeah, because as soon as they did grab that Watchtower, it forced a 4 versus 3 in favour of LDLC in this bot lane, which allowed them to get this push going and increase their pick potential should alternate put a foot wrong. And we're going to see it again here. Vipolino going up. Gluehammer is near. He's going to regain that one, and it just means that it forces alternate to be on their toes and keep being careful.
Yeah, nothing too spectacular happening up in the top lane, just Illidan and Tassadar going at it, and again, we do have the push coming in, and Team Alternate, very scared, just playing very conservatively behind that watchtower, not wanting to get picked off before the mines spawn. And yeah, I feel like it might be a rotation up to top from Alternate, not wanting to deal with any of that. And we have Uther kind of trying to catch them on rotation here. Nice little move there by him to kind of act as a ward and scare them off a little bit.
Yep, and we're going to see LDLC move in through this bottom lane, rushing straight for that mid camp here with 4 out of 5 of their members, the other one being Elasta, clearing things up. Vipolino's going to take a duel with Gluehammer, and this is kind of what we saw last time with Alternate. They'd just send one member to each camp, they'd take 5 camps, then back out, but this time they don't exactly have that luxury. Vipolino's going to chase Gluehammer away with 32 to 30 skulls right now. It's going to be 40 now in favour of LDLC, with only the Grave Golem left, and we could see our first real skirmish of this one. It'll be 5 versus 4 too.
Yeah, and both teams really close to that level 4, possibly wanting to wait a little bit, but it's going to be LDLC forcing the issue, starting that Grave Golem, and Team Alternate is very scared to engage here, trying to figure out how they're going to engage against that scary Arthas Kerrigan.
Yep, Gluehammer's now made his way down. Vipolino zoned out by the zombie wall there. Nunde gets caught up. Elasta's jump into the other side, which is actually the safe side, as now the Venom goes down onto Krolo. He's going to be the next to fall. He's trying to keep himself alive, but doesn't do so. All members of LDLC are oh so low. Lova 60 getting the shield coming out there from Uther. But that's going to be Sylvanas down. They're going to chase now onto Hiruka. Guccio going to be mounting up and trying to chase, but won't be able to get on the tail there. And 46 to 30. LDLC will be happy with this. They can now gain some map control and gain a push of their own.
Yeah, I mean, 46 is plenty of skulls, and they do have that Sylvanas, which will allow them to just start pushing while Alternate cleans up the mines. Now recalling is Alternate with the 54 skull of their own, but I mean, they really didn't get a whole lot of time to push there. LDLC now just finally getting to the bottom lane and applying some pressure to this bottom cannon tower.
Yeah, and this one's going to fall very quickly, of course, when you have the Sylvanas. And the Arthas actually does quite a bit of siege damage too. They're able to take them down very quickly. They do grab the snare onto Dark Vonix, but they couldn't really follow up with that. They potentially could have done, but they didn't know what was hanging around the other side of that wall. Illidan's going to take away their easy camp with the assistance of Krolu on the Malfurion, as the Golems are starting to walk down the lanes. And this is what we were talking about, the fact that LDLC can apply so much pressure even without the Golem. Like this, they're going to get a CC chain onto Gluehammer, double in, Venom going to go down, he's going to live through it. And that was a lot of burst coming down from LDLC, and a lot of their resources already used prior to this Golem getting here.
Yeah, really unfortunate they were not able to pick off Gluehammer in that combo. I thought he was going to die for sure, but we do have the 4 versus 4, and again, Illidan and Tassadar in the top, fending off each other. But yeah, we do have this massive push here coming from LDLC. The Sylvanas proving to be so very strong. A Brute going down, but wow, this is going to be the turn for Ultimate.
Sliding in, Lova 60 getting caught up there in the zombie wall as well. He's going to be the first to fall in this engage. It looks like he's going to be the only one to fall as well. Nice reverse there from Gluehammer. He got engaged upon, saw his opportunity and went for it and came out on top.
Yeah, and Ruka, in the meanwhile, has been doing a pretty nice job defending this. I mean, Tassadar just so very good at doing that. Nande trying to apply as much pressure as possible, but yeah, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Gonna pay with his life, but will the damage be enough? No, and fortunately, LDLC has that mule coming down now. Yep. We do have Alternate pushing in the bottom.
Yeah, they are. They're probably going to get these 2 towers, then back away from this. The hard camp and Siege Giant of LDLC are still up if teams want to go for the aggressive play and take them, as it looks like we're going to see Alternate venture into enemy territory here. They did get spotted by the watchtower. They're going to try and do exactly what they did in their previous Mines game. After this first Golem died, they then tried to go for the aggressive play onto the enemy's enemy's fort, sorry, to stop the mule repairing it, but now they're just too late. Lova 60 jumping in onto Nunde as he gains a lot of the attention here. Zombie Wall traps 2 members in, but Nunde will of course fall.
Yeah, and we do have Gluehammer in the bottom lane. They're soaking some experience, so while Nande did get picked off, Team Alternate still in decent position experience-wise, although we do have LDLC applying a ton of pressure, going to be able to take out some of these cannon towers here.
Yep, they're going to get the first, and now the second, with Vipolino getting that one, is going to be backing away on such low health. Uses Death Coil to heal himself up, going to base as well, just to make sure he's super safe and super healthy for the next time the mines open up, which should be very, very soon, as both these teams are about to hit level 10 as well.
Yeah, Gluehammer being very careful, knowing the rotation could be coming soon, just gaining experience while on his mount, not wanting to get caught, but we do have LDLC coming through the top here, trying to contest the Bruisers, but no, not going to be soon enough. We had a nice little zombie wall there coming out from Alternate to prevent that.
Yep, as they're going to see players go down into the mines. Nunde the first, he's all by himself right now, going to try and grab that first camp as quickly as possible, but now he's kind of a sitting duck down there right now, all by himself. He needs to wait for his team. He's not in the best position right now. He could maybe get one camp here, of course. Immolation does so much damage, but he's even forced back from this one.
Yeah, and we do have Heroics in the game now. We do have Mosh Pit coming out from ETC, Strafe coming out from Vala, Gargantuan, as you said, with the Spider build coming out from Nazebo. On the other side of things, we do have Divine Shield, Maelstrom, Archon, the Ghouls, the Army of the Dead, and Wailing Arrow.
Yep, and you said the Ghouls, and there they are. They're chasing down Gluehammer. Love-XD trying to get on there, grasps him back, but the snare coming out is enough. The Howling Blast did hit, the Wailing Arrow hitting 2 members as well, but that is 2 heroics down for LDLC, and they now might be a little bit susceptible to an engage. Vipolino at the front here, doing the best he can. Haruke is safe in the back line. Strafe coming out. Vipolino gets the Divine Shield. He's going to survive for now. Paleta is going to get caught in that mosh pit and dies. That's a 1-for-0 trade. And Alternate gonna get a lot of skulls here.
Yeah, unfortunately, LDLC not using their resources appropriately. Kerrigan combos have been missing left and right in this game, and that fight was no different. And again, we did have a Wailing Arrow coming out as well, and really not able to capitalize on it. So yeah, LDLC just kind of wasting some of their abilities, and because of that, it's going to be a very sizable golem here going over the Team Alternate.
Yeah, it seems almost as if that Wailing Arrow was a little bit of a panic. It was used just as they were disengaging, trying to stop any follow-up. They are going to go on to Krolu here and stop Guccio's back. That's a dead Valor, and they could certainly chase on here to Krolu as well. They do allow him to mount up. Alastair's coming around the side. Could use his shadows to get on here. Is going to dismount him as Love-XD going to go up, and they could chase Krolu here. The Howling Blast missed, but they do get the slow off. There's the Graspment. A 2-for-0, but they still have a 74 Golem to deal with.
Yeah, unfortunate, a little bit late of a mount up there by Kurolu. I feel like he could have gotten away had he just sacrificed Guccio sooner. Guccio definitely just was 100% dead there, but we have a massive golem here for Alternate. Although LDLC was able to take the experience lead there, we do have the Alternate golem doing quite a bit of work, but not that much. I mean, we have the Mule here repairing, the shields coming out from Tassadar as well, so this golem is going to be largely negated here. And yeah, LDLC actually in a really nice position because of that.
Yeah, and imagine if LDLC didn't get those 2 picks. This would be Alternate in this top lane pushing this fort down instead, but really nice, advantageous play there. They knew they were on the back foot. They try and get what they can from it, and it's worked out well, and this Mule's just going to sit away there, keep on repairing that fort, and down in the bot lane, nothing gained, nothing lost really.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that sometimes you should probably just exit the mine as a team, not wanting to get picked off there like that. It's a little bit of an optimization Alternate could have made in their strategy, but yeah, we'll have to see if they're able to claw their way back in. I mean, they're not in bad shape. They're actually going for a Siege Golem steal, or sorry, Siege Giant steal here, but LDLC, knowing that they're out of position, trying to go for that bottom fort, but no, backing out as we could have a big team fight here.
Yeah, we certainly could. It's a flank coming out from Alternate. Gargantuan being used as well as the Mosh Pit. Mosh Pit gets negated straight away. Archon being used. The Divine Shield being used on Paleta himself as well. Nunde Metamorphs in. Is still on a lot of HP in the back there. Maelstrom doing a lot of damage. Alastair's going to fall, as is ETC though. Sylvanas going down as well. Paleta, that's just Haruka left now. That fight started so well for LDLC, and then suddenly everyone died.
Yeah, I mean, look at the damage on the side there of Team Alternate. They have just so much damage, so much AoE pressure, and yeah, with the Illidan also jumping in in and out of the team of LDLC. LDLC, they just didn't have the coordination needed to... I mean, they did eliminate ETC so fast, but just no lasting potential in that fight.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, just looking at the damage tab, Illidan's only on 7k hero damage. It's Valor and Nazebo doing the majority of this, and Kerrigan and Sylvanos just way behind the Valor and Nazebo right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Illidan, his damage is usually low, but he definitely does a huge amount of work kind of zoning out the different damage dealers of the enemy team. But we do have an interesting positioning here coming out from both teams. LDLC kind of in a decent spot here, and Alternate kind of zoned out a bit.
Yeah, LDLC just forced their way down straight through the middle portion of the mines. Forced two members out, two other members of Alternate off to the side, and they're going to get onto Dark Vonix here, and that should be a kill with the Envenom going, and there it is. Guccio, though, doing a lot of damage with that strafe, gets shrunk down now, and they can definitely get a chase on here, considering he's slowed, but the Frost Shot doing a good amount of work there in such confined space, and we could see the turn. Metamorphosis coming in onto the back line. Archon being popped, Lolvest 60 only alive because the Divine Shield can't get much damage off with it though, as Alasta now the next focus for Nande. He goes down, Paleta using the shield on himself, he now falls, Vipolino next on the chopping block, and there it is, he goes down. Just Hiruka surviving again here, and this again going to be a lot of skulls coming out for Alternate, 76 in fact.
And that's just a tall tale sign of why the multi-shot build and strafe can be so potent together. I mean, Guccio, he was running for his life, and he turned around, he multi-shotted the entire team there of LDLC, chunking them for tons of damage, slowing them down, and the turn was just perfect. I mean, the whole team of LDLC was in such bad health, and they were just able to clean that up with relative ease.
Yeah, and now Dark Phoenix and Gluehammer gonna grab away their own Siege Giants here, get even more pressure going in towards their lanes. In fact, it's going to help them with the defense here. But are LDLC going to have a repeat of what we saw them do last time? Nande, however, this time is lurking around. Alternate maybe have learned from their lessons and might actually push with this one to stop the Golem getting negated again like it was previously.
Yeah, and we now have Team Alternate on that level 16 talent here. Again, Leaping Spiders coming out to complete that spider build, and double Stone Skin coming out for the Illidan and ETC. Blood for Blood on the Vala as normal, and Tenacious Roots on Malfurion. Pretty standard picks there, but yeah, Team Alternate going to push with their level 16 talent advantage, with their 76 Skull Golem advantage, and yeah, it's LDLC just has to play scared here.
Yeah, they certainly do, as Vipolino needs to dodge away from that route. They need to burst this Golem down as quickly as they can, but Paleta there gets rooted up, has to cleanse himself. The zombies really not helping things for LDLC here either, as this Golem doing a lot of damage. One tower down, the gate down, this is going to be a second tower down, and a considerable amount of damage down onto the keep as well.
Yeah, I mean, this Golem is still pretty healthy too, and it looks like Bluehammer might want to do something, power sliding in, but not going for any kind of heroic mosh pit there. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be really careful here when you're assaulting a keep on the enemy side of the map.
Yep, this keep though, it is going to go down. Gargantuan has been used, as is the strafe now. Paleta using the Divine Shield to keep himself alive. Wailing Arrow goes in, and it didn't actually really do too much. Vipolino now caught up, has to use the stun. Metamorphosis coming in. Vipolino might survive this one, or he may not. He goes down. Alasta surviving just by getting back to the Hall of the Storms. Lolvest XD goes down, and it looks like we're headed to a game number 3 after this Mines win from Alternate. Cores down to 50% now. Grave Golem going in. Nande wants more kills, but there it is. Game number 2 going in favour of Team Alternate, and we're going to see a game number 3.
Yes, we definitely are. Really well played there by Alternate. I mean, they had a very strong